Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. Today, I want to talk to you about setting expectations for new employees during their first couple weeks of training. Do you remember when you were a new employee? It could have been within the past year, or it could have been 20 years ago. But do you remember that feeling of anxiety and excitement and nervousness, and you're ready to prove yourself and hit the ground running? Well, today's new employees are going through those exact same emotions. So how do you ease that nervousness? How do you let them know that your company is a safe place and they can succeed here? Well, training is the foundation that lays that success. Accepting and walking to a new job can be overwhelming and intimidating for many people. There's so many new things to learn, such as job responsibilities and office culture and new coworkers, that making sure your training is effective is very important. Whether your employee onboarding process includes online training modules or one-on-one training with a supervisor or a mentor, or even just job shadowing, here are some expectations that you can give your employee to set them up for success and get them excited from the get-go. First, let's talk about online training. Online training has become critical these days when it comes to new employee onboarding. It's fast, it's easy, it's convenient, it's already set up, ready to go, and you don't have to be on anyone else's schedule. You don't have to wait for a trainer to become available or a supervisor to get back from vacation. You can hire your new employee and get them on the ground running. But there are a couple expectations that you need to give your new employees when it comes to online training modules. First is the pacing of taking these courses. It can be really easy to sit down and take 10 to 15 online training modules in a day, just going back to back to back and clicking through and getting those courses checked off your list. But are you really absorbing any of that information? Probably not. So make sure your new employee is taking their time through these courses and absorbing the information. There's a lot more education and things that they need to learn than just the quiz. Second, let your new employee know to not just skip ahead. Don't go straight to that quiz. I know it can be really tempting for new employees, especially when they see that they have a ton of training modules to take. But there's a couple reasons why that's not a good idea. First, a lot of training programs are set up to where you might get a report of your new employee and how long it's taken them to complete their training, especially for online training modules. And it doesn't look great if they took a 40-minute course in 6 minutes, or if they took a 20-minute course in 4 minutes, but they failed the quiz 3 times and then finally passed it. Second, it's been noted that the more an employee invests in their training at the beginning, sets themselves up for success within your organization. So you'll see right from the beginning who's really dedicated to investing in themselves and following the expectations that you set during the first couple weeks of on the job. Now, let's switch gears and talk about in-person training and an expectation you need to set there. The one most critical expectation you can set for in-person training for new employees is that they need to ask questions. If they don't understand something, they need to ask the question. If it's explained to them and they still don't understand, what should they do? That's right, ask a question. It's up to them to keep asking questions until they fully understand the material. Because the trainer or the mentor or the supervisor, they're not mind readers. They don't know whether the new employee is fully understanding what they're being explained. So make sure your new employee feels comfortable asking questions. Make sure you allow time for them to ask questions. You're not just rushing through the in-person training. Now let's talk about a few more expectations that apply to just your general training program. First, let's talk about beyond training. Make sure that your employee knows that the training that they received in the first couple weeks was just a foundation. It's not the end-all be-all. They won't be able to go into their job and hit the ground running after taking a couple online training courses or job shadowing for 2 days. It's just the foundation upon which job experience and time and further review of policies and procedures are going to build upon to make them comfortable in their job. This takes time. For some positions, it could be 6 months. For other positions, it could be up to a year. So just because you've completed your onboarding process with your new employee doesn't mean that they're ready to go. And make sure that they know that that's okay. Second, check in with your new employee and talk about what was missing from the training program. After they've completed their onboarding process and they've gone through the first couple weeks, check back in with them, not only to see what they understood and what they didn't, but maybe talk about some things that they wish had been in the training program. Maybe you missed some things, or maybe you covered them, but it wasn't in enough detail for them to fully understand. Talking with these new employees, especially ones with various backgrounds and experiences, can be great knowledge and great feedback for you to help evolve your training program. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tips on how to set expectations for new employees. Remember, training those first couple weeks is just a foundation of their job with your company, and hopefully it turns into a career. So thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and check out our website at phineasgts.com to learn more about how to awaken your financial genius.